Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. Today I'm showing you my take on a shrimp and lobster pizza on the Big Green Egg. I had this last weekend when I was down in the Bahamas at the Grill Great Steak Cook-Off. We did a pizza party right on the beach, and this shrimp and lobster one was amazing. I knew right when I got back home I was gonna try to recreate it. Let's get to cooking. The first thing I'm gonna do today is make a real quick basic pizza dough. And this needs to be done first because it has to have time to rise. I'm just starting with some active yeast and some warm water, a little pinch of sugar, let it get to bubbling. Then I'm gonna add some flour and a pinch of salt. And I'm just using my stand mixer to bring all that dough together into a ball. We're gonna put it in a greased bowl, cover it loosely with a towel, and let it hang out for about an hour to rise. It needs to double in size. And this is what it should look like after it's risen for about an hour or so. You can see it's poofed up, it's doubled in size. Now I'm gonna get the grill fired up. We're gonna be ready to grill off the seafood and make these pizzas. I'm using my Big Green Egg today. I've got some lump charcoal in there getting good and hot. Then I'm gonna put my plate setter in place. I'm gonna get the rack down, and then I'm gonna put a ceramic stone right on top of the rack. That stone is gonna absorb all that heat in the green egg, and that's what's really gonna cook the bottom of this pizza crust. If you're cooking on any other type grill, set it up similar. You just want indirect heat with the pizza stone in there, and we're gonna run it about 450 to 500 degrees to cook this lobster and shrimp pizza. In the Bahamas, they had already had pre-cooked shrimp and lobster right there on the beach. It was chopped up and ready to go, but I'm starting just with some fresh seafood. I bought a few lobster tails. These are Maine lobster tails. It's just what I had at my local store. You could use rock lobster, and I've also got some shrimp that are raw, but they've been peeled and deveined, and I'm just gonna get them on the grill a few minutes as soon as it gets good and hot. To make the shrimp easier to work with, I'm just gonna put them all on a skewer, just going straight through the tail, up through the body. This just makes them stay flat while they're on the grill, easier to turn. And I'm just wanting to get these a little head start before we make our pizza. I want the seafood to be done, but not overcooked. Now for the lobster tail, I've just got a pair of kitchen scissors here, and I'm going straight down the shell, all the way to about the tail. And I'm just gonna take my finger right inside, loosen up the meat off of it. I'm not trying to pull the meat out. I'm really just wanting to get it cooked, but I want to make it to where it'll come out easy when it's done. So I just kind of separated it just a little bit. I'll do that to all these. So that good lobster meat in there. That's what I'm after. So now I'm gonna put them back over here, drizzle them with just a little bit of olive oil. The seasoning I'm using is just real simple. Some garlic salt, some parsley, and some crushed red pepper. And I'm not going heavy, just give them a sprinkle. And for the shrimp, we're just gonna give them the same treatment. I'll spread them out a little bit, a little olive oil, a little of our garlic salt, parsley, and crushed red pepper. Let's flip them over and get both sides. How about that? One more olive oil drizzle, a little salt mixture. Now we're ready to get these shrimp and lobster tails right on the grill. So the green egg's good and hot. It's running about 400 degrees. And these shrimp are gonna cook fast. I mean, we're talking, a minute and a half per side. So we're gonna go in with them. I'm gonna just go ahead and do them all. Let's get the lobster on the sides back here. I'm gonna get the lid closed on the egg. It's only gonna take a few minutes for our seafood to cook up. Now, after a minute or so, I'm just gonna start checking these shrimp. Go ahead and spin them. I want them cooking even. They're looking good though. You got on some of these glove liners on these nitrile gloves, this job is super easy. We're not worried about the lobsters. I'm just letting them roll, cook in their shell. A couple more minutes on the shrimp, be good to go. So after 4 or 5 minutes, you can see these shrimp, they're where I want them. They've firmed up a lot. They've got a pretty color to them. So I'm just gonna take these shrimp skewers off. But you can see, it's starting to get done. The meat's starting to get solid. I mean, we got maybe 2 more minutes. It's gonna be right where I want it. Just move them over here to the center a little bit. So now our lobsters should be just about perfect. I mean, look at that meat. It's white, still juicy. That's where I want them. And I can make a meal off that right there. I'm telling you, that's beautiful. Before I shut the grill, I'm gonna go ahead and put my pizza stone on to get ready to make these pizzas. Just gonna set it right in the center and get the lid closed. So now I'm gonna take these shrimp off the skewers. And I gotta do a little bit of chop on the seafood because I want it all cut into about the same pieces. Some of these might be cook's choice. Like this one's got a little char on it. Wow, heck yeah. Grilled shrimp is where it's at. Show you what I'm gonna do with these lobster. Take the shell. Since we already got it cracked, I can just break it on out, and then I can get in here and pull this meat right out. Lobster tail, perfect. So now I'm just gonna take the seafood, the shrimp, the lobster, and I wanna just cut it up in about equal sized pieces. It's not like a fine dice, but I want it to be a good bite on the pizza. So we got our shrimp, then I'm gonna take the lobster, Do the same thing, just run the knife through it. And then what I'm gonna do is just kind of mix it all together. So we've got shrimp, lobster, all combined. And then we're just gonna transfer it back to a bowl here. Get our board cleaned up. It's gonna be time to assemble some pizzas. So now I'm just getting a little bit of flour on my board here so I can turn our pizza dough out. And if you wanted to, hey, you could use store-bought dough, that's no problem. Or you can make one like I did. What I'm gonna do is just knead it just a little bit, get it back kind of into that ball shape. Then I'm gonna take my knife and cut it in half. Because I'm gonna make 2 pizzas today. A little more flour on it, work it in. So I've got a little light coat of cornmeal on the board just to work the dough. And now we're just gonna work it out. I'm just putting it down. We wanna work it as thin as possible. Take your time, don't get in a rush. We wanna just stretch the dough. You can use a roller, just start at the center and work your way out. We're just going for a rustic look. It don't have to be perfectly round. We just want a good flat grilled pizza. So I've got the dough stretched out nice and thin. I saw this trick the other day. My friend Diva Q was doing this on her Traegers. She was cooking the pizza on the butcher paper. It's gonna make it super simple to transfer over to the grill. Let's put this pizza together. First, I'm using a white sauce, and it's just like a basic bechamel. Started with a little butter and flour, some heavy cream, then I melted in some Parmesan cheese. Let it get nice and thick, cool down where we can work with it. We don't want it just really runny. We want a thick white sauce for the base of this pizza. Now we're coming with some mozzarella cheese, shredded up, then we're gonna cover this crust with it. Gotta have cheese on pizza. We're only using a few basic ingredients, but the shrimp, the lobster, the cheese, the white sauce all go together so well. Cheese is gonna melt and be bubbly and be hot. And now we need our lobster, our shrimp that we've cut up, little bite-sized pieces. They're gonna melt in with the cheese. I mean, that looks awesome. We're not done yet. I'm gonna hit it with just a drizzle, extra virgin olive oil, and another good season, the garlic salt, the parsley, the crushed red pepper. It's gonna make it all pop. We're gonna slide it right underneath that butcher paper. Makes picking it up so easy. I'm gonna go right over to the green egg and get this pizza cooked. Now we're ready to get our pizza right on the stone. Slides right off. It's gonna stay on the butcher paper the whole time. When it's done, we can take the paper right off of it. Let's close it down. It's gonna take it about 9-10 minutes to cook. We'll come back and check on it in just a few minutes, show you how it's doing. All right, we've been 9 minutes. And let's check out our pizza. Hey, it's looking good. The cheese is all melted. It started to brown a little. To me, it's all on the crust. And that's thin, golden. Hey, that one's done, 9 minutes. Thin crust. I'm just gonna slide that peel under it. I mean, check that, that is beautiful. See the shrimp, the lobster, the cheese, the white sauce. We gotta get this to the board and cut into it. So we're just gonna slide it off. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this peel now. Slide right in between the pizza, the paper. Look how clean it comes off. Right on the cutting board. How easy is that as far as transferring a pizza? And I'm gonna cut this bad boy up. Just use my knife. I mean, the crust is crispy. That was a real thin pizza crust. I think I'm gonna cut some squares. That's how I like it. How about that? Just some regular slices this way. Eat it however you want. Now, the moment of truth. You know it's hot. I'm gonna pay the price. Let me do it. Woo! Can't do it. Hold on a second. I had to let that cool for just a second, but I think it's gonna be okay now. I can't wait anymore. I mean, check that out. Woo. That's awesome pizza right there. The creaminess with the cheese, the white sauce, but the shrimp and the lobster are just tender. Such a good flavor. Reminds me of the beach. What I really like about this is the crispiness of the crust. I don't know if you can hear it. Super crunchy. I mean, the crust is nice and crispy, cooked on the grill, and you can see the bottom of it's just right. It's not too dark. It's got a golden color, but it holds up. The toppings hold up on it. You can make this as thick or as thin as you want it. If you like a deeper dish crust, heck, buy a store-bought crust. This one was easy. The white sauce, mozzarella, grilled shrimp and lobster chopped up. Put it on the grill about 450 to 500 for about 9-10 minutes. That's all it took. And you can use that butcher paper trick to make transferring that pizza real easy. Hey, I've got several more pizzas I gotta knock out here, but thank y'all for watching today at How to BBQ Right. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media outlets, How to BBQ Right. We'll see y'all next time. That's too hot. That's way too hot. Many a fool would have been into that. Not this one.